Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Neilville Piano, and welcome back to another anticipated blog episode. I know it's been more than a week since I put my last weekly blog out. My apologies, a lot of stuff has come up, but now that I'm back, I'm hoping to make this the first of two that I have this week coming up. We have a lot to get through here tonight. I know it's pretty late putting this up together, but it's better late than never. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about in this episode is Major League Soccer. I have never really talked about this, and it doesn't get a lot of exploitation, let's put it that way. And so I went to a game on Sunday afternoon with my friend. It was NYCFC, which is New York City Football Club, against New York Red Bulls. And this game was in Newark. And I went to the game and I was fascinated by, number one, how many people went out to the game, and number two, just the atmosphere. They were firing off fireworks. You could literally feel the ground and the whole stadium shaking when the fireworks would go off during the national anthem. And you could just see how passionate some people were. You heard a lot of obscenities, which happens in a lot of sports, but you heard also a lot of support. There's different fan clubs for the Red Bulls. There's also a big group of people from New York City that traveled by bus to go see the game and support the team. Now, obviously, if you watched and you're a soccer fan, you saw that the Red Bulls won 4-1. It was definitely an exciting game, and I learned a lot. And what I learned is this. The MLS a couple years ago was not that popular, but I feel like as the years have gone on, it's gotten more and more popular. People are starting to watch it more. People are starting to see players from other countries come over and play in this league and continue to create more popularity for the sport. In my opinion, I feel that it will continue to get more and more popular to the point where it will become a legitimate sport that people will talk about, that you'll see a lot more on ESPN, and it'll be very enjoyable. There's one big game that's coming up. It's the MLS All-Star game that's coming up in a few days, in which they play powerhouse Arsenal from England. And that, again, should give the MLS a lot of coverage. And I think they do that because they need to get more popularity. And I think that's a good idea. And so, in my opinion, I feel, like I said before, the MLS is going to get more popular. I heard some crazy rumors that Cristiano Ronaldo might come to the U.S. in a few years. Only time will tell, but I'm hoping that it continues to get better because I was certainly fascinated by it, and I'm excited to hopefully go to a few more games in the future. Okay, so the next topic I want to talk about is the NFL. Obviously, there's been a few signings today and yesterday. The first topic I want to talk about is actually a quarterback battle, and it's going to be in Denver, Colorado. The defending Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos. Now that Peyton Manning is retired and Brock Osweiler signed a deal with the Houston Texans, they have to figure out who their quarterback is. So they went out and they signed Mark Sanchez, former Jets quarterback who's been known for the butt fumble and has been a ridicule for a lot of jokes in the last couple of years. They signed him. They drafted quarterback Paxton Lynch out of Memphis, who in my opinion I think is the best quarterback coming out of this draft class. But there's one guy that people are missing, and that is Trevor Siemian, the Broncos' 7th round draft pick out of Northwestern. He was drafted 250th overall out of 256 picks, so he almost went undrafted. And the main reason of that is because he threw just over 5,500 yards and only about almost 30 touchdowns in his entire career at Northwestern. That mainly is because he only started a year or two for the Wildcats. But I think that he could potentially be the starter. I think because he's the most experienced in this offense, and it's going to take time for Sanchez and especially Paxton Lynch, because he's a rookie, to get going. So I feel that Trevor Siemian would be the best option, at least for right now. I think he's a true candidate to be the starter. I was just watching an episode of ESPN First Take from about last week on YouTube, and they were talking about this. And I truly believe that Trevor Siemian could be the starter. You just need to give him some more reps and let him go out there and prove it. He has a very strong arm. He's mobile in the pocket. He played in a semi-spread offense in Northwestern, and I feel that he can move around and hopefully make some plays, and especially because they have a stacked defense, the Broncos, that they can play well, and hopefully get Simeon some confidence in the early goings trying to defend their Super Bowl title. The next bit of interesting news was Devin Hester. Now, you may remember Devin Hester for being on Chicago Bears and being known for his many kick and punt returns for touchdowns, including in the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 41 back when he was with the Bears. He just got released today by the Atlanta Falcons, and now he's a free agent. And this is kind of crazy how he has gone from being a very well-known player. Unfortunately, he is a wide receiver, and he wasn't known very much for that, more as a kick and punt returner. But it's kind of sad to see that now he's kind of out of a job, and it's disappointing. And I would like to see him get another chance. I think he's still got some talent in him. But it came to me as a shock when I heard that Devin Hester got released, because I think he's still got it. I think he can still be a huge threat, but only time will tell. And maybe it is time for him to hang it up. We'll have to wait and see. And another topic, let's go to the next one, and we got Anquan Boldin. You remember him, wide receiver for the Ravens for a while, and now he was with the receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. He just signed a one-year deal with the Lions earlier today. What does this mean for Detroit? Well, obviously, as we know, Megatron, Calvin Johnson, retired this last year, and they're trying to find ways to replace him, and I think that's an okay replacement. It's not great. Anquan Boldin a few years ago would have been a humongous pickup for any team. But I feel that his skills have declined. I don't feel that he's as consistent as he was a few years ago when he was still with the Ravens and when he first started off with the 49ers. And it's just another only time will tell move. He's got to take time to learn the system and learn about Matt Stafford and his teammates, and hopefully things will turn out for the best. I always like it when guys that I think are done prove me wrong and play well and live up to higher expectations than they were originally given. And now let's talk about the last topic, and this is probably my favorite one in the NFL. And this is the Ryan Fitzpatrick saga for the New York Jets. This makes me laugh, honestly. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that Fitzpatrick wants excuse my language, crap load of money for one good season. He barely did anything when he played for the Buffalo Bills, and he wasn't that big coming out of college. He went to Harvard. I mean, there wasn't much news, and so he has one good season with Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall's the one who desperately wants him back, and it's just an ongoing saga. The Jets seem to always have something going wrong with them that gets them into big news. And I just heard today that Fitzpatrick doesn't look like he's going to sign a contract and get something squared away with the Jets before the start of camp, which is in about 2 days. And this is just a joke. It's just a joke. I think the Jets should just forget about him, and I think they should develop their two impressive rookie quarterbacks. Well, one rookie quarterback and one that's going into his second year. You have Christian Hackenberg, who you just drafted out of Penn State for God knows what reason. That didn't make any sense to me when it happened. But you have Bryce Petty, who in my opinion is the best quarterback that came out of last year's draft. And he hasn't gotten a chance to show it yet. He is a phenomenal quarterback. He should be the quarterback of the future. Not Geno Smith and not Christian Hackenberg. And definitely not Ryan Fitzpatrick. So if I'm the Jets, I should just forget about Ryan Fitzpatrick, forget about Geno Smith, and focus on those two guys. And maybe pick up another young guy in the free agent market. Because the Jets fans are looking for a winner. And you only get a slim amount of time to become a winner in New York before they kick you out. So the Jets better get some going, or they're going to have another disappointing season and missing the playoffs. Okay, so the last topic I want to go over is Major League Baseball. Now, the trade deadline is coming up in a few days, and I believe it's Monday, but you guys in the comments can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I think it's Monday. And we've already had two big deals. Well, not big deals, but deals that are worth noting. First one we're going to talk about is the Yankees. We all knew this was coming. The Yankees traded Aroldis Chapman to the Chicago Cubs for a bunch of players, including shortstop, and I might say his name wrong, and I apologize, Gleyber Torres, Adam Warren, who used to play for the Yankees, so that's a good pickup. Outfielders Billy McKinney and Rashad Crawford. Now, I don't know very much about these guys except Adam Warren, and I knew he was good. I knew he was decent. I was disappointed that the Yankees got rid of him. And there's another young pitcher that the Yankees got rid of, and another young talented player. And the Yankees need to start doing a youth movement. But anyway, back to the trade. Aroldis Chapman when he signed with the Yankees, it made no sense. They already had Dylan Betances and Andrew Miller. Why in the world did they have to go get another closer to have a three-man closing rotation? It makes no sense to me. I get it, you want to go 7, 8, 9. But to me, that's just a waste of time. The Yankees just won a few minutes ago, and they had Dylan Betances and Andrew Miller take care of it. They don't need a third guy. So I'm glad that the Yankees got rid of him because it made no sense. They just lost a crap load of money in their salary cap. At least they got a couple young guys, and these two young pitchers, including, like I said, Adam Warren, and these two outfielders, and hopefully they can develop them and continue to make a youth movement like they should in order to get better, and not just focus on the classic Yankee move of getting older players who are past their prime and trying to win a championship that way. They need to do a youth movement like so many of these other teams in other sports, especially like the Golden State Warriors, because trust me, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were not that good coming out of college. Trust me on that. They needed to be developed, and that's how they won a championship. Believe me on that. So basically, the Yankees need to do a youth movement. That's my honest opinion. And my honest opinion about the trade, well, what are the Cubs getting? They're getting a Aroldis Chapman. They're getting a closer, and they probably need one. I don't really know exactly how good or bad their closing is. I would have to look it up. My apologies sometimes for not knowing everything, but I'm doing my best. Basically, I don't think they're going to re-sign him after the season. I think they're going to try to use him to hopefully finally break that curse and win it all for the Cubs. So only, I'm using my classic phrase here, only time will tell. And another trade. Here's the other trade that I found today. I found this. I woke up to this trade at about 10 o'clock this morning, and it was the Blue Jays acquired Melvin Upton Jr. from the San Diego Padres in exchange for cash considerations and a Class A prospect. I would have to look back. Probably now we know which prospect that is, but when I first got about it, that's all I knew. That's going to help. It's another good bat in the Blue Jays lineup who are in the more mode of let's win now instead of build, because they know that probably Jose Bautista might not be there next year. They still have Josh Donaldson, Tulowitzki. They may or may not have Encarnacion next season, so they're really trying to push. They're trying to win it now. They're still trying to scrape to at least make the playoffs and hopefully get a shot at winning it and taking a championship and giving Toronto its third World Series in its history. So I'm hoping that Melvin Upton Jr. helps them out. But if not, it might just be another, just like the Cubs, just going to have them to try to make the playoffs and win it all and probably not re-sign him next year. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, so thank you guys very much for watching this episode. Once again, I apologize for not getting one out last week, but I promise you that I will put this one out as soon as possible and get another one in this week. Big news, actually, for me personally. I will be starting to do my own personal show on TV. It's going to be on Radio Vision Network if you guys are interested. I believe I'm going to be starting at 1 o'clock. It's about a 1-hour show. And this will be my first big opportunity. And so I hope that you guys who follow me on YouTube will get a chance to see that. And if I get the opportunity, I will be able to shift that episode onto here so you guys can watch the whole thing either on here or on their website at radiovisionnetwork.com. And so yeah, I'm looking really forward to it, and I'm excited. And I'm also excited about continuing this blog, and I hope you guys continue to follow me. So thank you guys again very much. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all of your friends about this show because it's going to continue to get interesting. And, just keep it real out there for all you NVPs. See what I did there? Thank you guys once again, and I will see you guys in the next one.